abantu bakanunda bakunda munonga baranyeta Kamara kandi ndio mushaho owenja nungi ningosomire okulisa abantu kulungi so nimbakunda kandi nyenda kwebaza CEO wa Nyaka okundeta hano kugamba nimwe no kongera kucumintiriza aha nsonga yo kujyaje kandi kintu mugasho munonga kuranga umwena mwagumana mujyaje nambwe mufeyo mure mwaje mirundo 3 buri runaku twaye namani tuhinge kandi tugesawa na bitu bena mutubone kubagira.
Amina, amina. Wewe ni mnonga Kamara. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is another day God has given us. We praise and rejoice in it. Again, we are here at TJK Shares, one-on-one with TJK, a channel that has been bringing you people from all over the world, inspiration with a whole mission to learn, relearn, and unlearn a few things. Within our sharing, we bring you inspirational people who are ordinary men and women around the world doing extraordinary things. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are joined by none other than Kamara Daniel. Kamara and I have been following each other on social media. I've watched what this young man has done in his small world, but for bigger world issues, tackling nutrition. Nutrition is something that sustains all of us, but nutrition also something can kill us. So we brought you, Kamara, to talk about issues related to nutrition, to share his background story and why a young man like him are already worried and talking about nutrition. Interestingly, Kamara tells me, and his social media pages indicate, this week is Nutrition Week. He's been in Kanungu district, where Nyaka started, working with Bwindi Hospital and also other healthcare centers. He traveled all night to get to Kampala, where he has to chair session tomorrow. He's tired, but ready to share so much with all of us. So please welcome Kamara Daniel. Thank you for joining us and making time. Welcome to this channel. Please greet the viewers and share a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much, CEO. For the period of time we've heard each other, I've learned a lot from you. You are such an inspirational leader, and we are great to have you. By the fact that I grew up seeing Nyaka, and I have benefited from Nyaka in one way or another, I really appreciate your efforts to lift a village like Kanungu to a global stage. So just like you said, I am Kamara Daniel. I'm commonly known as Nutritionist KD on my social platforms. And I am a nutritionist by profession and an educator, a health promotion educator by calling. I believe that if a person is a nutritionist under Public Health Board, according to our Allied Health Professionals Council, your main sole calling is to educate and create awareness. If you kept your knowledge yourself, you cannot create an impact waiting for patients in the hospital. It does not make sense according to my expertise now in the field. So I developed this passion over a couple of years when I was at Bwindi Community Hospital. So I started working in Mpungu. If you heard about Mpungu.
I know Mpungu very well.
So Mpungu, it is one of the rural communities that is 60 kilometers away from the hospital. And the hospital has made sure it has put satellite clinics. So Mpungu has a satellite clinic, like more 2 other satellite clinics. So I was there, and you find that the whole month in a report making, you find at least 10 households reported severe acute malnutrition. And when these mothers would present these children, the mothers look healthy, by the way. You know, mothers look healthy, others don't look healthy. And you want to ask yourself, is this the double burden of malnutrition? Where could the problem be? And I've just learned something new, that malnutrition is maybe community familial, like when I am hungry, when I'm severe acute malnourished, and you come to a village in Nyaruhanga, where I'm born from, you
Mm-hmm.
count three, four, five families. You can't count the fifth family without getting another child. In the next family, you cannot fail. That means that the problem does not uh, start than
Mm.
then. It means the problem is multifactorial. It hinges on the food security pillars. It again rotates around the environmental, socio-economic factors, and that brings us the vicious cycle of malnutrition. That's
Yes.
how it keeps on rotating around. So while in Impungu for 1 year and a half, I was really, really touched and was like, no, these people deserve better. And that's how my passion for nutrition grew up. And that's how I started part-timing in Buindi, coming to Kampala. When I'm in Kampala, I learn a lot and I take it back to the village. I believe in Kanungu than Kampala because I believe that the moment we transform Kanungu, people will live better and become productive rather staying in Kampala, transforming that. In Kampala, most people are literate already, but in the communities, people lack the essential knowledge, like food preparation. Obesity has also been equally wanting to be distributed in the whole Uganda. Now, the communities, if they get this double burden of obesity and the undernutrition, it would not really help Uganda.
Tell us a little bit how you grew up. Tell us about your mom, your dad, your siblings. Was
Okay.
nutrition an issue when you were growing up so much that it attracted you, or was it a subject you chose to study based on just intuition?
Very important question. I am born in a family of five. I'm the last born,
Yes.
um, and we are three boys and two girls. And very phenomenal. My family has teachers, and I'm
Mm,
the health worker who is trying to come up. And in our family, I live in a polygamous family actually,
hmm
but my mother is a very hardworking woman. That's why when we were studying food security, I saw the relevance of a mother. Women in Uganda play 75% of household food security. That
mm,
means that if women are not serious, children become malnourished. So you find that the mothers are the ones who know what to cook. The fathers just come and eat, and they're actually not aware of what
mm,
is on the table tonight. And once in a while, maybe a man can say, let's go and buy some meat, some proteins. Eh? But the major proteins are provided by a mother. So our mother was really pivotal in the nutrition development, and she would
mm.
really make sure you don't go to school without food. And we live even now. She lives by agriculture, by household agriculture, small backyard
Mm.
gardening, and she's in the Nyaka Mukaka, by the way. She has a
Yay!
I was not aware until I found her putting on a dress, and she narrated me that story, and I was like, "Yes, keep there, so that you don't grow old, so that you can always meet the old persons." And because she's 60 years and above, and when you are 60 years and above, you need also away from nutrition, you need also to be in public, so that you don't lose your courtesy of growing old.
Mm.
So our mother was really pivotal, even now she's really strong, and I really made the dietary requirements. And of recent, I was also trying to grow bigger until I said, no, let me try to control my weight, and I am back to normal. I am really happy that I can preach and walk the talk of health eating.
All right. So nutrition is Kamara, nutrition is more than the food. You've covered the segment of people who are growing up in poverty, who are not getting balanced diet. But the thing I tell the world all the time is our people, your parents, my parents in Kanungu, as much as they are economically poor, they are eating good food, which is organic, which is natural, without preservatives. I want you to jump from those people in Kanungu to Kampala, where you are seated right now. For people who have left Bwindi area and Kanungu area and go to Kampala and drink all the beer and eat all this pork that is served left and right. Dr. Kasenene is a good friend of mine, and he's been on this channel talking about lifestyle and nutrition. Talk about nutrition as a lifestyle and how it changes from a child growing up in Kanungu, eating organic food. You now have the little money, you drive a car, you don't walk as much as you used to walk. All of a sudden, you have belly fat and you can't take 5 stairs. How do you help those kind of people who we know are so many in the city?
Thank you so much. That's a very powerful question that drives us to the rise of non-communicable diseases. So in Kampala right now as we speak, away from the growing burden of non-communicable diseases, we have also food fraud. You know, food fraud is is the purporting of food to be in the original version, yet it is not. And you
Mm,
know, here in Kampala, most of the food is not really safe, and people are eating lots of trans fats. They're using a lot of cooking oil that's
mhm,
not healthy, and heart diseases have risen. I want to use statistics according to Uganda Demographic Health Survey. You know, they are very powerful, and that I support the NCD department, the Ministry of Health. 1 in 4 Ugandans, as we are speaking right now, if you counted 4 Ugandans, either one of them is obese or overweight. And 8 people in 10 who live with diabetes are not aware at all. And they are not on any medication. They rather present to the hospitals with blood vision, with kidney failure that is so common of recent. And um, also 5 in 10 Ugandans who have high blood pressure, also not aware. And these statistics are nationally
mm,
distributed. Each region is contributing. That means that the whole
mhm,
country is at a stake. Of recent, when in a meeting, the dissemination workshop, they said that Karamoja also contributes 16% of the national hypertension burden. And every person
mm,
was seeing each other was like, how can Karamoja, how can Karamoja, how can Karamoja? Yes, each region is equally contributing to the national burden. Because our lifestyle in Kampala is really poor, it is the
yes.
new smoking is actually smoking now is no longer taking the cigarettes, but the body. You find out that in the whole 12 hours in a day, person has only walked for 20 minutes. You walk in your car, go to the offices, they bring food, you have working tea, you can take tea like 10 cups, and each cup of tea you're adding 3 teaspoons of sugar. And remember, in the 6 cups of tea you are going to take, that's over 10 grams of sugar. And recommended sugar intake, there are only 2 grams of sugar. And you find
Mhm,
that you are taking over sugar for 1 week just in the whole day. When that habit persists, the belly fat develops because you know when carbohydrates are taken plenty, the body converts them and stores them for you in form of fats. And when you reach
mm,
home, this man will actually, for example, this is a man scenario. He's working here maybe at Pioneer Mall. He drives, he goes back to Nansen and reaches maybe by 9 p.m. And they have already served food. And you know, African food, I might say that men are supposed to eat lots of food to please the wife, but also to show that you're a man. But you know, they too much carbohydrates, you know,
yes.
too much carbohydrates compared to proteins. They believe that if a person, when you cook, when you steam matoke, on top you have to put rice in a box, or you have to put some karo aside, and maybe also some meat. And you know, here in Uganda, as you tend to get some money, you tend to prove poverty. It has been disturbing. You want to shame it by eating animal proteins almost every day. You can only eat beans or cowpeas once in a while. Literally, in Uganda, I believe that if a person ate plant proteins, you are really broke.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
Very broke. Unless we meet in a big hotel like Munyonyo and you took beans, I can say, CEO likes beans maybe because he has eaten lots of meat. But typically in a household setting, you really people want to prove poverty because now we have the poverty shift. When you're shifting off from poverty, you want to show, you want to do everything it takes. And that also has brought the increased obesity in our children, because now you find that 8 in 10 Ugandan children depend on sugar products, and our canteens have lost the grip of the WFP school feeding program because
Yes.
now the, you pack bread, you pack cakes, you pack sugar for these children.
Mm-hmm.
We no longer pack the boiled sweet potatoes we used to carry. I don't know where CEO started from in Kanung, I don't know. But boiled sweet potato, all those are the foods that we used to eat in my age. And we used to carry, fruits, guavas, sugar canes,
Yes.
roasted things, maize, when it would be a season. But all those have been depleted. And obesity has continued to grow with the toll being laid by women here in the country. And the burden increases every day. And people, when I was actually very touched, I covered my friend at a certain hospital here in Kampala. A mother, they came in a Porsche car, and this girl had 10 years, but she was 102 kilograms.
Oh,
We tried to talk about, the mother was like, she spoke it in Uganda, that abasawo bogezo obwavu. Literally that health workers talk out of poverty because you cannot afford like to eat the way the child is eating. Now you are telling them that fruits and vegetables that you have on your plate
yes,
literally
yes,
are
yes.
making no sense. And it's very tricky to manage the Ugandan population because now I told you the poverty shift drives us crazy. We have the mindset, our attitude is really poor, taking up nutrition advice is really bad. Even these land people, for them taking nutrition advice until they have an issue, it's when they want to
Yeah,
be directed
exactly.
to come because they do not want to hear anything. They tell you instead of me dying with a live kidney, let it die and I die. You cannot stop me from eating chocolate, yet I've just started eating it at 30
Yes.
years.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and all that has really multiplied the issue, the burden. People are no longer doing exercises, just like I said. Meal planning is really poor in Uganda. If you've observed, like in Ugandan parties, Ugandan household, you see food and you touch your mouth for those who have. And yet we still have the balance of 2 in 10 Ugandans who sleep hungry. Yes,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Northern Uganda, 2 in 10 households have no plans of eating the supper tonight, and they have no plans for the breakfast for the next day. All that rounds us around the double burden of malnutrition, and the vicious cycle of poverty keeps rotating on the wheel of Uganda.
All right. Wonderful. What is your vision and dream for the future in summary? What do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, in 10 years? And how would you like to see Uganda, your country, and your people in Kanungu be in those 5 to 10 years?
Thank you so much. As a young person, I really dream to see Uganda a better country with uh, good health statistics because the burden increases and our healthcare system cannot even contain this burden. First of all, is that we have a health work paradox. Health workers are being trained, but they're not retained in the healthcare system, and they're
Mhm.
all flying abroad to look for jobs. And others are speeding over the streets, including doctors, medical doctors, allied health professionals, and nurses. Because I have been in the health strategic meeting, and you find the health financing we cannot contain. And my vision
Mm.
is that every health worker should do their part. If you're a doctor, do your part, start health educating. And I want to tell Ugandans that we should not rely on our healthcare system. In short, you should not wait first go to a Kamboga hospital. You should not
Mm.
wait to go there. Try to do something from your household because 75% of Ugandan diseases are preventable according to Uganda Demographic Health Survey 2022.
Oh, preventable.
Percent of health conditions here, they are preventable. That means that as you yourself, from an individual household and a community, you can do something. In your Bataka gathering, you can have a meeting. Not every time you meet, you talk about death. You can talk about health, you can talk about health eating, you can talk about portion control, You can support people who are sleeping hungry. As a young person, I envision to do, I want to study something related to health promotion and education because I believe nutrition education has power, though it is underlooked. It has not been given the necessary attention. For example, if I'm the whole district, we have one nutritionist, and I'm the second one on private, and other only one on government, and other districts, newer districts have never heard about a nutritionist. We did a survey with the Allied Nutrition Association of Uganda, where I sit representing nutritionists, and we found out that 9 in 10 people in Uganda have never heard about a nutritionist. Who is a nutritionist? What do they do? Where are they found? All this is because we do not have enough spaces for advocacy, for awareness. Tell people that food has the power to make you who you are, and also to look healthy and prevent yourself from getting the minor ailments. Because if you see in our disease toll, you find that these conditions are so simple. The person eats healthy, he observed, health eating, you can live longer. My dad was diagnosed with diabetes and hypertension for 2009, and how many years now? Because he's a listener. The person listens to the condition or the disease being taught to them. You live longer than if you don't take advice. So prevention is really power, and nutrition play a critical role in health education, promotion, and awareness of this, because what a nutritionist teaches is really different from another person who talks about nutrition. And once again, nutrition is an independent variable. Dear CEO, I often say that unlike the stomach, the brain cannot remind you. If a person does not think, cannot remind you. If you don't even wake up, the brain cannot remind, but the stomach will say, please, Kamara, you have to eat. It is already one. You
Yeah.
feel, people say that the stomach, the snakes inside, they're rolling around. The intestines start to crumble. The acid is produced when it is time for lunch, and you have to eat. And unlike, there's no other organ in the body that reminds you what to do except the stomach. Nutrition is an independent variable. If you live by it, Uganda can be a better place for
Okay.
us.
Kamara, give 3 things. And you know what I forgot also to ask you is to greet your people in Kanungu in your local language. So greet your people in the local language, baramuse kurungi, bakulira omwana waabo. Ekyakabiri, 3 things. Somebody is listening right now, driving from work, sitting at the radio, somewhere in Afghanistan, somewhere in Russia. You are talking to the entire world now. You're not talking to Kanungu. What are 3 things somebody can do to start their journey on healthy living led by nutrition? 3 things people need to do. 1, 2, 3. After you greet people in your language.
Thank you so much once again, CEO, for the opportunity. So one of the most told and left out things is portion control. I want to begin with a feast. This feast, you see, it holds power because this feast is equivalent to your heart physiologically and anatomically. So that means that the moment you exceed the feast, that means you are giving a lot of work to your heart and to your entire body. Your carbohydrates is equivalent to your feast. Carbohydrates include the foods that give energy or that are go foods in the primary language. So that means that carbohydrates, portion control. Make sure your plate has 2 feasts of carbohydrates and do not exceed that. Remember, half of your plate should be fruits or vegetables. Half of your plate should be fruits or vegetables every day. The director recommends 5 portions of fruits or vegetables every day. This means that literally every time you open your mouth, you should take in vegetables or fruits. Once again, meal timing.
Meal
Meal
timing.
timing holds a lot of power and a lot of sense. Not every time you should eat. You should know when you should eat, when you should not eat, and what you're eating really matters. The last one, I talk about exercise. Exercise. Remember that. And I want to talk about intentional exercise. The moment you do exercise, and again take the 5 bottles of beer, and again take 10 drumsticks of pork or whatsoever, you're doing nothing. You're not changing anything. Because we said that nutrition All food is 75% and 25% is exercise. That means that you are literally covering what you've just done, which is really not helpful. Lastly, in the
All
modern
right.
society, I want to talk about reading food labels. Read food labels.
Uh-huh.
Do not take
Okay.
food products that have excess hidden sugar. We have lots of hidden sugar here. We've been trying to regulate it using the nutrient profile model. It is under process and review process. Please read your food labels. Don't take things that are above 2 grams of sugar. Don't take irresponsibly. Don't study for nothing. You know, you can study but fail to implement the knowledge that you've acquired from a university, from the college. Make sure the
Okay.
food level. Not take excess salt. Don't stress your kidneys. Don't add raw salt to fruits, to vegetables in kachumbari whatsoever.
Yes.
I want to thank you once again, and I would like to greet you from Kanungu. I would like to say, abantu ba Kanungu ndabakunda mnonga. Baranyeta Kamara kandi ndi omushaho ow'enjanungi ningoshomire okuliisa abantu kulungi. So nimbakunda kandi nyenda kwebaza CEO Wanyaka okundeeta hanu kugamba nimwe n'okwongera kucumintiriza aha nshonga y'okurya gye kandi kiine omugasho munonga kuranga mwena mwaguma nimurya gye nambwenu mufeyo murebe mwarya emirundi 3 buri lunaku tukore n'amaani tuhinge kandi tugyese abaana baitu kugira ngu tubone kubagira.
Amina, Amina. Webale mnonga Kamara. Every person who has come here, I ask them one last question, and you are going to summarize it. How old are you right now? That's not the question.
I'm 26 years.
26 years of age. What advice would you give yourself when you were 18 years of age? Knowing what you know now, what advice would you have given yourself when you were 18?
Thank you so much. It's really a tricky question, and there is a saying in Richiga once again that says, "If I had known, really it comes last." And
Kuri
it beats
namanyire. Kuri
us,
namanyire ijambo bwa nyuma, yes.
it beats us so much. But if I was 18 years, my decision for schooling, I actually would have gone directly to maybe education system also makes us round around, and you end up. But if I was 18 years right now, I would start what I started like immediately from school. I would start it now because in 2022, I remember I was the Student Innovation Award winner in Heroes in Health Awards by the Ministry of Health, and I believe that was too late. I believe I should have done better. I should have reached out to all Ugandans through social media, through physical outreaches, medical campaigns, whatsoever. But if I was 18 years now, I'd really strategize to help Ugandans to eat healthy as soon as possible. And I would, with or without money, with or without audience, I would try to create my own spaces to ensure that people are reached out with health information regarding nutrition.
Very good. Thank you. Webale mnonga orakoze cyane. Asante sana. We thank you. We appreciate you. If every young people started doing what they need to do at an early age, will make a difference. There's a Chinese proverb that says the best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The second best time is today. So, ladies and gentlemen who are listening, viewers all over the world, this is the message for you as much as it is for me. I just came back from my exercise. I do it every morning, walk at least 2 miles. Kamara knows where we grew up, Kanungi in Kambuga, near Kambuga Hospital. If somebody had told me the message you are giving right now when I was in secondary school at St. Charles Gwanga Kambuga or Kambuga Secondary School, I would have made different decisions. But again, the best time is today. Start now. Kamara did highlight that we people from rural areas, we eat to please our wives. Now imagine when you have 3 wives and you have to go to each house to please one and eat a portion. He said, a feast. I've seen plates that are this big. My sister, Faida in Kambuga, does catering services. And the portions I've seen people eat and finish and go back for seconds is way too much. And the statistics I had are so many, but majority of the people who have high blood pressure do not know. The ones who have hypertension and high sugars do not know. These are preventable diseases, and I urge all of us to start working hard to listen to this podcast, share it with as many people as you know, learn new things and learn some things and relearn some things, and we'll create a better place. If not for us, for our children and our children's sake. Thank you, Kamara. God bless you. Have a good night. All the best tomorrow at your symposium. You are doing a session. Start producing some of those in local languages so people who cannot read and write English can also get this information. Appreciate you. Kale kale. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
All right.